So what don't you want?
Pardon?
What don't you want?
Hey! We're recording the podcast! Shut up!
Good morning to you, wherever you are, because it is
Morning Somewhere!
for July 13th, 2026. My name is Bernie Burns, sitting right over there. She sounds so nearby. It's Ashley Burns. Say hi to Ashley, everybody.
I'm so near and yet so far.
Ashley is in Scotland. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. I hear you guys were very popular fans during the World Cup, during the early stages of the World Cup in Boston. So
It is nice. Everyone says that Boston's depressed now, so you're welcome.
I heard that. And yeah, I'm in Austin, so we're pretty far away from each other.
We're already professionals about what we need to talk about, which is obviously the World Cup. And as long in the tooth football fans, we have so much to discuss.
Well, Ashley, top of the list has to be, how are you dealing with the fact that Holland, the player, was knocked out when his team Norway was eliminated by England? How are you coping with that?
Oh man, look, it's a bummer, but also I don't want to discount that this is the first time that Norway has made it to the quarterfinals in any case. So it was already a big accomplishment. If they go they do first quarterfinals and first semifinals in the same year, it's that's too much too fast. They gotta make sure that they pace themselves.
Well, I feel like too, this is gonna sound strange to say this. This is like the second best scenario for him in the World Cup, to be eliminated by England. Now, hear me out on this. The best case scenario, obviously, is unless he went through, the whole team went through, Norway went through, beat Argentina, beat what I predict will probably be France going into the finals, beating Spain, and doing all of it and running the table. Unless he did that, the worst case scenario for him, I think, would be to defeat England and then get knocked out, because England is where he plays professionally. And that's where his audience is. That's basically where he does business. So I don't think the fans are going to forget that this internet darling that knocked them out of the World Cup is this guy that they're cheering for on their pitch. You know what I mean? I think it could create a bad situation for him. So I think in this case scenario, he was very positive about England and got knocked out, and he still went out on a huge high. Everybody loves the guy. I think actually this is the second best scenario for him.
Yeah, and then it's funny too. I saw a lot of concern online, obviously from my corner of the internet, which is all the girls who were following the personal stories, which is, I guess he's got this quite famous bromance with one of the England players, Bellingham. And everyone was like, oh no, will they be able to be friends after they have to play against each other and all this? And I was like, well, yeah, I mean, they're kind of like coworkers, right? When you're playing at that level, it's just another day at the office, and sometimes you have to go to a meeting that you don't like, and sometimes you have to speak against a project that one of your coworkers is doing, and you still have to work together after that, and it's fine. It's a normal thing. It's a normal day at the office. Not the best day at the office, but it's a normal day at the office. So it seems like they're doing fine, and I also saw videos of a bunch of the England players giving him big hugs, so they all got plenty of love to go around.
Between Bellingham and Kane on England, they're just two beasts. Watching them in the last two matches, because those are the only matches for England that I've seen thus far. They basically got in positions where they had to score, right? They were behind, they had to do something. And in both cases, it was just it looks like they just said that. Yeah, we have to score, so we're going to score. I mean, both Kane and then
let's just make this happen.
Yeah, Bellingham, they both did the same thing where they ran through four defenders and then had a shot, incredible shot across the goal to tie everything up. And it seems too, we've talked about this whole it's coming home thing, and we did have people in our comments who are weighing in saying, yeah, no, we're being arrogant when we say that. We're saying it's coming home. This is where soccer belongs.
Well, I saw some people saying, yeah, we're being arrogant, and some people saying oh, we know we don't have a chance, but we remain ever hopeful.
Well, it's both, right?
The famous British optimism.
Well, there's a reason for that in this case, because I was talking to Gav about it, and he told me, and I had to go look it up, they haven't won the World Cup in 60 years. So there's nobody alive, really, except for some very geriatric people who were kids the last time that England won the World Cup. So it's been a long time coming.
Right. So if it happens, it'll be fine. But they're going to have to beat Argentina, and then they're going to have to beat between France and Spain, whoever wins there. So they're not done yet.
Yeah. I will just say this. For a club that sings It's Coming Home, I hope they left a forwarding address because they probably moved about 5 times in the last 60 years. The trophy might not know where home is.
You know what I'm not understanding entirely is I'm not entirely clear on why Holland is playing for Norway instead of England in the first place. Apparently he was born in Leeds.
Yeah, he could play either on the national team for England or Norway and chose Norway. And people are even saying that, like, you know, Norway didn't qualify for the World Cup the last time around. This might be his only appearance if he continues to play on the Norwegian team.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that puts it in some perspective. I'm learning all these stupid little tidbits. Like there's a fan of the Norwegian team who's like probably a bit relieved it's all over now because they've got this fan chant they do. Have you seen it where they all act like they're rowing and the chant is like row, row, row. And this one fan refuses to participate because he's like, that's historically inaccurate. We didn't row across the ocean. And he's not standing for it.
Yeah. You know what he also said? Did you see the interview where he said, also, we stole the chant from Iceland? That we changed.
No, I
we
didn't
changed
see that.
one thing or one part of the motion or something like that. Now we call it our own. And I don't want to be part of that either. So apparently they stole the chant from Iceland, which, by the way, I looked it up. Iceland has a population of 400,000 people in total. So I don't know that you're going to see Iceland in the World Cup anytime soon. So maybe
Hold on. Let me look this up.
Norway can just like pay them a royalty for it or something. If you think about it, with 400,000 people, that means something like 1 out of every 10,000 people is on the national World Cup team.
I mean, they're not great odds, but they're not terrible odds. Okay, look at this.
If you moved to Iceland, you got a shot.
And apparently they'll give you a choice then. You can decide who to play for. Iceland made its debut at the FIFA World Cup in 2018 after having failed 12 consecutive qualification campaigns from 1974 to 2014. They first attempted to qualify in 1958.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, whenever they say a number in the World Cup, like 12 appearances or something, you have to multiply that by 4. It's like 48 years, you know? It's an entire lifetime where they haven't qualified for the World Cup.
Oh, yeah, we're working in Olympic math at this point.
Yeah.
Maybe if Iceland wants to protect their chant, they should qualify for the World Cup and get their fans there to protect it.
Well, it sounds like Norway is pulling a Pal World and they're saying, hey, look, we changed 1 or 2 things, so this is a totally original property.
But look at how well Pal World is doing it. It looks like it is getting past the lawyers, and they're doing awesome. They set a new record for their because they had just had their 1.0 release. I don't know if you've dived back in. But they just had their 1.0 release and they were setting records on Steam. I don't think it was nowhere near their initial record, which saw something like 2.1 million concurrent players when it first released. But it was like 750 something thousand players, which put it in like the top 15 on Steam with its 1.0. And they issued an update to make some of their not Pokemon look less like Pokemon.
Yeah, that's a smart move, I think.
Yeah, I think they figured out what's working for them, and they're probably going to start making things a little bit more original bit by bit. Also, because there was an amendment to Nintendo's lawsuit against them that they're now only suing them for previous versions of the game that are no longer available.
Oh, what does that mean? So the money that they made previously?
I mean, it means that their lawsuit is based on older versions of the game, which have now been basically updated away and are no longer available. So they're not going to have a great chance in court from what I'm seeing.
So if the early access version of Pal World, when it came out, if it had more players, does that not count in the records because it's not an official release? Because all the headlines I was reading about this were like, this is from Otaku Cart. Pal World 1.0 breaks into Steam's top 15 biggest all-time player peaks with over 722,000 concurrent players. That's like 1.5 Icelands, Ashley.
Best protect your fan chant, Iceland. I guess it's because it's 1.0 instead of early access. So they do still note, I think, in that article that it did have a higher player count when it launched in early access. But that its performance is still putting it in the top charts.
Well, Ashley, I have very good news for you while we're talking about Pal World and Steam charts and everything else. Here in Austin, your steam machine has arrived. So I will be bringing back to you your steam machine.
That's great. The steam machine that I said I wasn't going to order, and then I ordered. Yeah, cool.
I wanted to open it, but it's yours, so I didn't open it. But I will admit, it came with a controller, and I had to see what that controller was like. It feels pretty good. It feels so much better than the first. Does it
feel solid?
Well, the first Steam controller to me felt like it was almost like 3D printed. You know what I mean? It's like it's almost like they sent me what felt like a prototype of like, this is what the controller's gonna look like, you know? But when you picked it up, it didn't feel right at all. This one feels
Sure, I get it. It
great.
lacked the heft that I'm looking for in a controller.
I don't know, like the polish or something. You know what I mean? It's like there, like even the texture to it or something like that. This one feels right, man. It feels really good. So I'm really curious what this is going to be like when we set it up. And gosh, I got to tell you, it might be worth buying these machines just to pull the components out of them, because we went to go buy while we were here. We were moving some computers around, and I was pulling some files off for Teddy, and we went to go buy a hard drive. You know what an SSD costs today versus like the last time we bought an SSD?
Oh God, I'm not sure I want to know.
So this is just an internal SATA or SATA. How do you say that? You say SATA or you say SATA?
I always say SATA.
Okay.
SATA just sounds like too long to say.
Just a normal internal SATA drive. This is priced off Amazon. This is a Samsung 870 EVO 2 terabyte internal SATA 3 drive. $680.
Holy shit. So like half the price of the Steam machine is just the cost of a hard drive.
I could not believe it when I saw it. I mean, that's a little bit of a faster drive, you know? So I would say like, you know, maybe you can cut costs. Like you go down to a Crucial one for 2 terabytes. That one is currently about $300. But man, I was shocked when I saw some of the prices of these SSDs. And even just like a normal like USB-C external drive, man, they're insanely expensive. I remember we used to buy these for like $100 a pop because we were transferring lots of files ourselves. But damn, I wouldn't touch these things. We might have a gold mine sitting in little hard drives in our closet somewhere.
Let's throw them all up on eBay.
Yeah, remember those little Samsungs we would buy? You know, the little ones that we had?
I do, and they're really convenient little drives too because they're so small and they hold so much.
That's a Samsung T7. I remember I would wait until it would drop to $100 in a sale to buy one. And this is the 2 terabyte model. They're now $375. Crazy. It was not that long ago. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Wow.
But luckily, it's all going up in price because of a technology that no one seems to want in this world. So thank God that that's taking place, Ashley.
What a relief, right? This convenience is so inconvenient.
Speaking of which, we have to mention things that people don't want. Apparently, the Iranian war is now worse than ever because now Iran has shut down the Strait of Hormuz. They attacked a ship this weekend. And the White House's response to it was, hey, we need you to say that it's open. Like that's what they're going for now. We need you to say publicly that it's open. I guess they're now asking other people to help manipulate the market on their behalf. It's not even like we're fighting a war anymore. We're just like...
Is this a war of headlines?
It is a war of headlines, Ashley. That's what it is. It's just headline and consumer sentiment. That's all that we're doing. And they're dropping bombs for stuff like that. That's how I feel, at least. But it's insane. Like, there was even reports now from satellite images that Iran is just rebuilding all their nuclear enrichment facilities. And they're just gonna continue along the process. So we've made no headway, no progress whatsoever. We're worse off than when we started. Unbelievable. Next thing you know, we'll be stealing chants from Iceland. We hit the bottom of the barrel here, Ashley.
Poor Iceland catching strays. Look, we need to stop talking about like the population of Iceland or we're going to start giving the government ideas again.
I talked about in the sponsor chat this weekend that I've really liked being back in Texas, but I really miss Scotland. Is there like anything going on there I should know about?
Oh, buddy, you're actually lucky you're not here or you'd be press ganged into berry harvesting. It seems like every fruiting thing we have has decided that like now is the time. We have red currants, which I don't know what to do with, but we have them. We have a ton of them. Just today, the kids and I harvested 3 kilos or like 6 pounds worth of red currants. And that's not even all of them. That's just all I could stand to harvest. And then we've got a bunch of bushes of black currants to go. The gooseberries are ready to go. We harvested an entire basket full of strawberries, moved the blueberries into the greenhouse because they're starting to turn blue and we want to keep the birds off them. It's all happening, Burns. It's all happening. And you get to miss out on the manual labor of harvesting all this stuff and figuring out what to do with it.
Although I have to admit, I did get to walk through an American grocery store produce section, and that was pretty fucking fun to do. Like
You know what I miss about the American grocery store produce section is the size of the stuff.
Yep. I bought Envy apples, and they're like bigger than my fist. You know, they're massive.
You go through, or like you buy a jalapeno pepper like the size of your hand instead of mine that are like, 2 inches long, and I'm like, hooray! Or like the peaches I have are like the size of a golf ball. They're really, really good, but they're golf ball size good. As opposed to like the gigantic like head size peaches that you're getting on the shelves in Texas.
It's
and
so
the
funny
smell of the peaches.
that you say that, because when I was at the store, I sent the text going, "Do you guys want anything from the store?" And JD's girlfriend said, "Can you get me some peaches?" And then I sat there going, I don't know which peach to get, because there was like 6 different kinds of peaches. This was after I chose between like 12 different kinds of apples. So yeah, it's been pretty fun, but I do miss berry harvesting. Actually, I do miss it a lot.
Well, don't worry. Well, I'm sure there will still be some left over. I think by the time you're back, we may be moving on to plums.
I'm not going to be gone that long, but we should establish some rules, because I did reach out to you. Is there anything that I shouldn't watch right now that you want to watch with me? I'm talking stuff like Odyssey. Should I wait on Toy Story 5? It's a lot more convenient to watch movies here.
It is. Here's what I think you should do. I think anything that you want to see in IMAX, go ahead. I'm going to try, while you're over there, I'm going to try and see Supergirl. And, oh gosh. And I've got to see if I can find a theater around here that's still got He-Man.
Oh,
going.
yeah.
Otherwise it's going to hit streaming anytime now. But I would like to, see it in theaters if I can. If you want to see Odyssey, go for it, because I feel like that might be a nice IMAX experience for you.
I can tell you that I can't get tickets to Odyssey in like real IMAX, the Bob Bullock Theater here. I can't get tickets to see it there until like the 3rd week in August at this point.
Wow.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? Yeah. We knew a year out they started pre-order for ticket sales for IMAX.
That's right. They did do that, didn't they?
Yeah, and he was selling out, like the first weekend of IMAX was sold out a year in advance in like all the IMAX theaters.
It is funny, this the release of this movie has actually snuck up on me a little bit, because it's been like in like heavy marketing for so long that I'm like, oh, it's actually time now, right? Like it's somehow taken me by surprise, because it was so present for so long, like with the ticket pre-sales, and then it was having teasers in front of movies like 9 months in advance, and all this stuff that they've been doing with it. I'm like, oh shit, yeah, no, that's here, that's coming.
It's crazy you say that, because one of the things that I keep wanting to talk about is we're now in July. Like, we're decently into July at this point. There's been no trailer for Doomsday yet. That's weird to me.
It's weird, right?
Yeah, that's really strange to me that hasn't come out. Like, I feel like there's like almost like suppressed information about the entertainment coming out at the end of this year. GTA 6 and Doomsday. I just feel like we're not getting anything at this point. We just know they're coming.
For a while, I thought they might be holding on to the Doomsday trailer to put it in front of another Disney movie to get that, corporate synergy. But they've had several opportunities to do that now, and they haven't. So they have to be holding it for another reason. Is it because they think people will go see it no matter what, and they're just trying to like build blind anticipation? I don't know.
Maybe not, though. It's like I can't assume that like everyone knows what they're doing at this point, too, because I just read this article. JD put it in our group chat that Obsidian is now like they have said, I guess, that we're officially now working on a Fallout game. Now we're working on a Fallout game. This is a studio that had worked on one of the most popular iterations of Fallout before. They're owned by Microsoft.
They did New Vegas, which is the subject or the setting for the new season of the Fallout show.
You say new, I think that came up like 7 months ago. But that was the point.
Well, newest.
So the longest bit of my flights was a 9-hour flight between Dublin and DFW. I did like 3 flights this time because just the way it worked out. But I ended up watching all of season 2 of Fallout, and I thought it was great. It started really strong. It felt way more like Fallout than the first season. Like, even though Fallout was very like vault heavy, the first season, I felt like they were like leaning more into like this is like a more direct adaptation of Fallout itself. Whereas the first season it was like, oh, this is very like in the world of Fallout and done very well aesthetically, very faithful in that regard. But this one actually felt like, hey, we're going to do a bunch of New Vegas stuff, even if they completely changed a lot of the different stuff. They did show you, like, this is a location. Like, you've seen this location. You've been here. You've talked to this person before. You know who this character is if you played the games, which I thought was really great. It got I felt like a little, pacing-wise, a little slow in the middle, as series tend to do. But what I kept thinking about the whole time is, how have they had this wildly successful streaming series for this game, and they haven't put out a game during it? Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. It's such an obvious thing to do.
Not even a remaster.
Not even a remaster.
It would have been like the perfect thing to do. Any of the Fallouts, pick one and put out a remaster during the hype for this show, which has been so well received, and it would do great. Look how well Oblivion did.
Yeah,
right. That came out, and everyone was buying Oblivion. So, how would a Fallout remaster of some kind, or even like a remake, remaster, whatever you want to call it, that would also do great. And remember as well, after the first season of the show came out, sales for the game picked up, and player counts for the game picked up because it got people interested again. You know what would have got people even more interested? A new game.
Right. Or like you said, a remastered. They had time before the second season.
They've had time before all the seasons. Do you remember like the years that we spent looking at pictures of the set design for the Fallout TV show that they were working on that had been greenlit, and it was going to be really exciting, and it was like 2 years out at that point? It's not like this show, any of the seasons of the show, took the studio by surprise, right? They knew they were coming.
It was really cool though, Ash. I think you should watch it. We sat on this one for too long. I know a lot of people loved season 2, but like seeing stuff like Death Claws. There's another thing that's more of a spoiler, I would think, to talk about it, but then they had like stuff like rad roaches in there as well. Like they really just went and they just like said, here's a bunch of stuff from the game that you know, and here you can see it. And I thought it was fantastic. Like even weapons and stuff like that weren't in the first season. I don't know. It felt like more of a love letter to like directly to Fallout fans who have played the games before.
Well, that's good because I do have some good news for you then, because I did see not that long ago an article that season 3 is in production. They're filming it now.
Yeah, good. I'm glad to hear it. Okay, Ash, who do we have to thank for exploring the wasteland with us today?
I want to say thank you to our fellow explorers, Mitchell Stephenson and Nicholas Fabrizi. Both of you, I recommend moving to Iceland. You can do whatever you want there. Thank you for sponsoring this episode of our show at patreon.com/morningsomewhere and roosterteeth.com.
You are our mysterious strangers. All right, that does it for us today, July 13th, 2026. We will be back to talk to you tomorrow. We hope you will be here as well.
Bye, everybody.